NASA says its Voyager 1 probe is sending usable information to Earth again.
Voyager 1, the most distant human-made object from Earth, has once again stunned scientists by capturing something unexpected in the depths of interstellar space. Decades after its 1977 launch, long past the limits of the solar system, Voyager 1 is still transmitting data that challenges what we thought we knew about the universe. Recently, this aging spacecraft picked up strange movement in space, something not attributable to a planet, asteroid, or any known celestial body. The detection wasn't a fleeting glitch or mere sensor noise. The consistency and behavior of the signal point toward a real physical anomaly, and one that appears to be mobile. The fact that Voyager detected motion out there, in the cold, silent abyss beyond the heliopause, has stirred both fascination and a touch of unease. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The object, or more accurately, the phenomenon, was picked up by Voyager's plasma wave instrument, a tool not originally designed for spotting moving objects, but rather for studying the behavior of charged particles. Yet, even with such instrumentation, Voyager was able to detect something dynamic in its environment. The signal was not uniform. It showed signs of fluctuation, shifts in frequency, variations in strength, and a directional change that hinted at mobility. And perhaps most significantly, this movement didn't conform to any known patterns associated with comets, dust clouds, or natural particle streams that populate interstellar space. It was erratic but purposeful, almost as if it was navigating through space rather than drifting aimlessly with the interstellar wind. This movement was observed in a region where very little should be happening. Beyond the heliopause, the space Voyager 1 now occupies is expected to be relatively uniform and predictable, with minimal interference from the solar wind or planetary gravitational fields. It's a place where temperatures are near absolute zero, and the matter density is so low that even a sparse hydrogen atom feels like a presence. For something to move in such a quiet, vast environment, and for it to be noticed by the distant and aging Voyager, implies that this object or phenomenon is generating or interacting with its environment in an energetic way. One theory posits that what Voyager caught might be a rogue artificial structure. While that leaps far beyond current scientific consensus, the nature of the signal makes it difficult to completely rule out. Unlike natural bodies, which reflect, absorb, or emit radiation in familiar ways, this object seemed to be emitting signals with fluctuating characteristics, perhaps even modulated, though the data is limited. The patterns defy random behavior. There's structure to the data, and patterns suggest intervals of activity and rest. If not artificial, it may be a natural phenomenon we've never encountered before, some form of self-regulating plasma cloud or a magnetic anomaly that possesses its own internal energy source. But the odds of encountering such a unique object at precisely the same position and time that Voyager is passing through that part of interstellar space stretch probability thin. Further confounding scientists is the directionality of the movement. Voyager observed the object or phenomenon altering its path, subtly but unmistakably. It wasn't following the ballistic trajectories typical of debris or asteroids. Its course shifted in ways that suggest a kind of propulsion, though what type is impossible to determine with Voyager's limited instruments. The idea that something can move with apparent intent in the void of interstellar space brings forward comparisons to known spacecraft behaviors. But this wasn't a transmission from Earth, nor was it anything released from the Voyager missions themselves. The two Voyager spacecraft have no capacity for deploying satellites or probes that could behave in this way. An alternative interpretation suggests that Voyager 1 might have intersected a region of space that contains unknown forms of interstellar turbulence. Perhaps the movement is not of a single object, but rather the result of Voyager traversing a field of anomalies. Regions where magnetic fields twist and collapse, creating dynamic shifts that mimic the motion of physical bodies. But even if this were the case, the characteristics of what was detected do not line up with any known behavior of interstellar magnetic fields. The precise oscillations and the shifting signal strength point to a localized source, not a field-wide turbulence. What makes this even more fascinating is the fact that Voyager is now in a region of space untouched by any other human-made device. It is venturing into truly uncharted territory, where theoretical physics begins to step beyond the bounds of empirical validation. This is where hypotheses about dark matter, interdimensional particles and exotic cosmic phenomena still float freely, largely untested by direct observation. The movement Voyager detected might relate to something entirely new, a phenomenon outside the standard model of physics. It might even be something that doesn't neatly fall into the binary categories of object or energy, something liminal that skirts the definitions built from our experience within the solar system. The implications ripple outward in every direction. If it's a form of matter unknown to science, its properties could revolutionize physics. It could hint at a type of material that interacts with space-time in ways we haven't theorized, opening doors to new propulsion methods or energy systems. If it's an energy-based phenomenon, perhaps even semi-conscious in behavior, speculative, yes, but not beyond all scientific imagination, then we are confronting the possibility that consciousness or feedback-based interactions may exist outside of biological organisms. More conservatively, if it's an exotic astrophysical phenomenon, then Voyager may have captured the first empirical signposts leading us toward new astrophysical principles. The excitement within the scientific community is mixed with caution. There is only one Voyager 1, and its instruments are over 4 decades old. Its data bandwidth is limited and its power source is diminishing steadily. Every bit of information it sends back is precious, but also painfully finite. Still, the integrity of the signal and the consistency of the readings make it difficult to dismiss this as sensor error or a dying probe broadcasting its last garbled messages. The object's signal persisted for long enough and showed consistent enough variation to suggest that it is not a one-off occurrence or a data artifact. There's also the spatial context to consider. Voyager is drifting through the local interstellar cloud, a region of relatively dense gas and dust. It's possible that some rare interstellar configuration in this region could be responsible for the strange movement. Some scientists have speculated about filament-like plasma formations, or self-gravitating molecular clumps that might show motion if perturbed. However, nothing observed before remotely resembles the kind of dynamic pattern now recorded, and that leads to deeper, more existential questions about what might actually exist in these so-called voids between stars. The fact that this movement was caught at such a staggering distance, over 15 billion miles from Earth, reinforces just how vast and mysterious our cosmic neighborhood remains. The solar system, with all its complexity, may only be a quiet corner of a much livelier interstellar reality. The universe may not be the cold, static place we once imagined, but rather a sea of interactions, energies, and entities that move in ways we have not yet learned to recognize or interpret. Voyager may have, by sheer perseverance and luck, brushed up against one of these mysteries. As more data is analyzed, the question shifts from what did Voyager see to what else might be out there that we've simply never had the chance to observe. The vastness of interstellar space means that even if thousands of such phenomena exist, we may only encounter them by extraordinary coincidence. The Voyager event reminds us that observation remains one of the most powerful tools in science. Not every discovery comes from prediction or simulation. Some are gifts from the cosmos, thrown unexpectedly into our path. The reality that such a finding came not from a billion-dollar new telescope, but from a battered old spacecraft powered by plutonium and willpower, underscores how far a determined mission can go. Voyager was never meant to survive this long. Its original goal was to explore Jupiter and Saturn. That it's now detecting unexplained motion in deep interstellar space is a testimony to the unpredictable richness of space exploration. The data may be limited, but its implications are anything but. Even without definitive answers, the detection of something moving in interstellar space with no clear cause challenges our scientific frameworks. It urges astronomers and physicists to reevaluate the assumptions made about deep space. The models that explain everything from interstellar dust movement to gravitational interactions may need expanding. If it turns out this object is not unique, but part of a broader class of unknowns, then we're only at the beginning of a journey into understanding a new cosmic ecology. This development doesn't point to aliens or sci-fi fantasies, at least not directly, but it does hint at the limits of our understanding and the potential presence of phenomena that operate under principles we have yet to grasp. It forces humility. The universe is not a finished puzzle with only a few missing pieces. It may be a shifting, layered, and deeply interconnected system, revealing new facets with every deeper glance. Voyager 1 continues its lonely trek outward, moving further into the void with each passing day. It will never return, and eventually its power will run dry. But its final years are proving to be as valuable as its early ones, if not more so. In capturing this anomaly, this inexplicable motion in space, it has handed humanity another riddle to ponder. It may not be solved in our lifetimes. It may require new missions, new technologies, and new ideas. For now, though, it's enough to simply absorb the gravity of what's been seen. Something moved out there, far beyond the realms of planetary systems, too distant to be part of any known orbit or cycle. Something revealed itself, if only momentarily, to a machine that was never supposed to last this long. It serves as a quiet, powerful reminder. The universe is still capable of surprising us, especially when we least expect it. And sometimes the deepest mysteries come not from the heart of galaxies or the edges of black holes, but from the gentle echo of a whisper carried across space by a machine we dared to launch into the unknown. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Voyager catching something moving that's not a planet? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.